Hey, Dana, it's so good to see
Hello.
you. Here we go again, huh?
It's been a hot minute.
So as we come together again and start to talk about what our next podcast adventure looks like, I think a lot of it is the same, but kind of given what we've gone through and what a ride it's been over the last couple of years, chaotic and exciting. Um, really want to talk to B2B marketers and entrepreneurs about, how do they want to seize the opportunity, right? We're rolling through, a recession potentially. We are see marketing departments and budgets constricting. How can we as marketers and as entrepreneurs really find the opportunity in this chaos and use it to our advantage? I think
Yeah.
those are going to be some really good conversations.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, we've had, for us, and I think a lot of our clients, this ride where things were really high for a couple years. And then this year kind of maybe came in strong and is slowing off. But, I think it's caused a lot of challenges, maybe as marketers and business owners that we've seen and haven't seen before. And it changed quickly, right? I mean, a year ago, you and I couldn't even hire somebody because everybody had 10 offers from every company and we were being priced out of the market. And now it seems like, with all the layoffs, we've got all these incredible marketers back in market looking for the right opportunity. It's just, and that happens so quickly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like overnight, it feels like, right? Super crazy time. So, let's dive into some of the opportunities that, that we see as an organization for our clients and for our team members, as well as, maybe what we're hearing our clients talk about.
Yeah, I think that's great. So I think, let's start with some changes that we've had over the year. And I think that kind of leads to some of these opportunities and challenges our clients have. So we've restructured our agency a bit to better align to our client needs. For those of you outside, it probably doesn't mean a whole lot, but for us, it was a big change. We were sort of operating in these silos by the service areas that we offered all of our clients. And now we've created these pods where a pod is responsible to service all aspects of a client's needs versus the client having to have a contact in content or rev ops or demand gen. So that was a big shift, I think, for us in the way that we worked, right?
Right. And we did at the same time bring on, some new incredibly talented individuals that have experience working at large global agencies, which really helped because, Dana, you and I are a couple smart cookies, but at the end of the day, this is the only agency that we've ran, right?
Yes.
With exceptions of previous agencies that we worked for before, but that were smaller. So, really leaning into people that have been there, done that, and having them kind of help guide us on, how to really take the customer service, client-focused approach of, aligning our services around what the client, needs help with, and how do we work with them in the most efficient and effective way.
Yeah, for sure. And as we say, we hired people that were smarter than us. So we're feeling really good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that, we're going to be doing these podcasts every other week. So before we had done a series, and now we're really going to lean in and push ourselves to have amazing conversations and have new podcast episodes available every other week. And we'll see how we do with that.
Yeah, it's a good challenge for us as we go into the new year here.
Yeah. And I think, one thing that's changed since last time, is I've gotten into podcasts. And so, I'm so into podcasts, and people get sick of me like, oh, I was listening to this podcast and did you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, brother Carrie. But, and I'm driving to Starbucks so that I have more time in the car so that I can listen to podcasts. But, I think I've learned a lot in kind of, how people receive information and the types of information they want to receive. So hopefully, we'll be able to translate some of our learnings over the last year, for our listeners to be able to enjoy the conversations that we're having. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to drop F-bombs and, and have those fun conversations, because that's just what we do.
That's totally who we are. We might even have some new British slang that will work in here.
Yes.
Since,
I love that. We should do a whole episode on that, right?
Yes. So we've opened an office in the UK to better service our EMEA and UK clients. Carrie and I are learning a host of new things about marketing and just how things are done differently, where everybody is at in their different regions, and then maybe more importantly, a whole new vocabulary we're introducing in. So to Carrie's point, an episode on our British slang would be good.
That'll be fun. Dana and I are always slacking each other, like, what does this mean? What does that mean? So that, we don't want to ask it, it sound like some dumb old Americans, but we are definitely learning a lot. It's a lot of fun. And I think we're also understanding that the sales process is very, very, very different. And so, both from how they want to be sold to, and, how we sell to them, and, highlight the value that we're bringing, and understanding what their pain points and goals are, but as well as their sales teams, right? And how they sell. And so, I think we've just scratched the surface on, kind of starting to understand this. In fact, I think, you were over there not too long ago, and we're at an event, and you wanted to be sold to, and they weren't selling to you. They were building the relationship. So
it literally was a software we're looking at, and I was like, can we just set up a demo? And they were like, well, we'll call you later and we'll get it set up. And I was like, wow,
I want to see software.
Yeah, I was like, very different than here in the US, right? That demo probably would have been set up on the spot. So
right. No,
but definitely, I think, going to add some value, for companies looking to expand into the US, because I do think how we market to, and how we create the funnel and how we run our rev ops, I think there's a unique opportunity for them there, as well as a lot they can teach us as well. But
yeah, we are all learning together for sure. And we are discovering the challenges of time zone differences, which means a lot of early morning meetings for us, and a lot of late afternoon, early evening meetings for our colleagues over there. Yeah. So, but looking forward to diving more into that. And I know a couple of the episodes that we will have upcoming, we'll have the opportunity to talk to some of those folks. So.
Yeah. Some of our team there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also have had, as everyone is, right, the discussion around AI and what does that mean for us as an agency? What does it mean for our clients? We've also got a fair amount of new clients in the AI space. So it's been a really interesting, and that also felt like 6 months, right, ago. Yes, it was there, but all of a sudden it's in every conversation we're having.
Yeah. Which is super exciting. And I think, you and I and most of the team members are lifelong learners. And so, it is really exciting to be learning about, new technology, and then how we apply it to, both marketing and our business, and, even on some personal sides, it's popping up in our personal lives, that it makes it, really exciting and really beneficial. I think, we definitely will have a POV on this, and we're embracing it as an organization, and hoping to have, efficiencies that, our clients will, benefit from as well.
Yeah.
So.
And I think, we were lucky enough to partner with Demandbase in London a few weeks ago. And we did a panel on AI. So that'll be one of the sessions we'll be able to bring to our audience here and hear some of the clips from that with an opportunity to listen to the full panel if people want to after the fact. But I think it'll just give everybody a good opportunity to hear how other marketers are embracing AI in their lives and how it's augmenting their abilities versus taking over or replacing some of what they do. So I think it'll be great for this audience to hear.
Well, let's hope it does take over some things.
Yeah.
I got a few things I wouldn't mind kind of passing off.
Guys, I was telling Carrie this session I sat in on AI recently. They were saying that everyone's so scared of AI because it's going to be like the Terminator. But in all reality, people just want it to be a personal assistant. I think Carrie and I are on the same page. Sure, I would love that. So if you could do my grocery shopping too without me having to think about it.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, along with this rapid growth, there's always a funny story that I know you and I tell at the peak of, kind of this hiring frenzy. It's a little reminiscent back to, the 2000s, when during the dot-com boom, when people would say, do you have a pulse? You're hired. Here's $100,000 salary, right? Those were really weird days. I think, during this rapid growth and this talent dearth, we saw some crazy stuff, right? So we had a client that would hire a few people for one role because he was pretty certain that at least one of those people wouldn't show up right away on their hiring day, or that they would quit within 2 months to seize an opportunity that was paying more. So I think those days are gone.
Right.
And now we are just really managing to, clients that have had some downsizing or right sizing within their departments. And, we were on a call earlier today, Dana, where someone was telling us that, on Monday they would start to have a sales conversation. And then by Friday, that person was no longer there. So, the impact that has on marketing departments, sales departments, across the board in how do we, seize the opportunity, right? Where is the opportunity there and how do we seize it? Because, as an agency, the relationships that we have with people is what it's all about. So as they leave, how do we ensure that we've got people that we can work with and that they're getting value? And sometimes we have to resell and start over again. Of course, they land someplace else, and then we, have the opportunity to work together again. But it is an interesting time where it went from hiring 2 people to every role, to whole departments, being downsized within a day. So.
And I know we're going to do a whole episode on this. We have a partner of ours coming in, a recruitment partner that supports us, but supports marketing as a whole. And I think what's really interesting is, as we know, as marketers are always the first to get cut, right? And hopefully, these companies, I think, are making some drastic decisions right now. They're cutting, and we've seen entire marketing teams go, and then they're sitting there going, who's going to do the work? And realizing that without marketing, there's no leads coming in, right? And so I do think it's going to be interesting to watch the shift as we get to the end of 2023 into 2024 and start to see what sort of becomes of marketing's role and how does it evolve, and where all of our focus is going to be, right? We went from no events to virtual events to lots of digital to live events coming back to kind of now people just wiping the board and going, what is it? And I think it involves some of going back to the basics of what we all know as marketers, but that also requires some patience from our higher ups, right? Which we don't always have. So
yeah. Well, everybody's got to put numbers on the board, right? Expectations are, got to show revenue. Yeah. So, that's what we're looking towards. So, The other area that we have been talking a lot about, Dana, with the team is the opportunity for RevOps. And, as we have aligned our organization, to be really focused on the client and what their needs are. At the same time, we've built out a pretty rock star RevOps team. And, we have slowly seen that service area increase in the percentage of the pie of what we're offering. And especially, as we expand globally, there's going to be some opportunity for us, to really lean in and help our clients, not only just keep the trains running from a marketing operations perspective, but really honing in on attribution and what can what do the sales cycles really look like, what are the KPIs that they really care about and need to report on, in marketing, in sales, in client success, and how do we all kind of move towards some of those same goals. And so I think that'll be an interesting opportunity for us as an agency, certainly, but for our clients, as they become more sophisticated and leveraging all the amazing technology that they've acquired and onboarded.
For sure. And this goes back to what you just said about it always being about revenue, right? And I think that's part of the challenge, is that a lot of these organizations can't show where the revenue is coming from, can't show that pipeline, can't show where leads are coming from, and nothing is integrated. And so I think hopefully we're going to start to see a real focus there as people try and put things back together a little bit.
Yeah. And, we will talk again about, in an episode about, is GTM the new ABM, right?
Yes.
And, everybody's talking about go to market now. And what does that mean? And, how do I transition maybe some of the things that I've been doing that people have become impatient about, higher ups have been becoming impatient about, and how do we show value earlier? In this time. So
that one's going to be a really fun discussion, because as I'm sure everyone listening on this podcast is seeing, all of a sudden it's like, no more ABM, it's GTM. And, when you start looking under the hood, I think you and I have talked about this so many times that very few people are actually were doing ABM in what is true ABM fashion, right? It's often targeted marketing. And so we haven't even really got to ABM, and now we're detouring to GTM with, I think, a lack of understanding of what really that even means. So this will be a great journey for us. So looking ahead, as we kind of summarize some of the conversations that we'll be having, we've talked about the AI panel, which is super excited about that. Is GTM the new ABM is another one that we'll be talking about. We will be talking about the marketing job landscape with our friends at Found recruiting firm. I think one of the ones that I'm super excited about is we're calling it the generation collision, right? So we'll have Hannah Jacover joining us, and, that will be interesting because we'll have, a person in their 30s, a person in their 40s, and a person in their 50s who have very different perspectives on, the work environment and how we collaborate. And, as we're starting to see the 20s, come into the workforce and have an influence, both on the B2B and B2C side. I think there's lots for us to learn on that topic. Huge opportunity. Yes, I'm excited about that. We also have Pam Didner coming on, whom everybody loves.
Woo,
and is super excited to have her just talk about more how sales and marketing can better align together to just drive better results. I think it's something we say, and we say it always, but again, I think very few are doing it in a way that's impactful to the organization. So hopefully she can give us some tips and some things to strive for as we go into this new year.
I always find Pam has very practical advice, right?
Yes.
It's like, some of the stuff is just so obvious, right? It's like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she'll impart
when I lost
some
our
of that.
Speak, she did just, I was like, that's like brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then we might
absolutely.
sneak in some stuff just about business and entrepreneurship this season. Carrie and I are working on putting together a panel of women CEOs. And so that'll come later, probably maybe early next year. But we're excited about some of those bigger opportunities and panels and discussion that'll come front and center.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have any ideas, if you want to share, some thoughts, please do so. And, we will definitely roll it into the agenda because we'll be, like we said, we're going to be rolling these out every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So lots of opportunity to, to cover a variety of different topics.
Well, we are excited to be back.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Another crazy roller coaster ride. So, Dana, as always, it's amazing to connect with you. I'm looking forward to this time that you and I have together with our guests. And I adore talking to you and sharing our thoughts and laughing and maybe having a glass of wine or two. We'll see.
Just have to make sure those recordings are later in the day, not when we have our UK folks here.
No doubt, no doubt. Yes. So tune in, everyone, to some really fun episodes of Marketing Gets Real here.
See y'all soon.
Thank you.